If you're a small business owner and you want to learn about AI, don't worry, in the right place, there's no jargon. Let's get started. So, you've probably been on a farm at some point. You've seen people that can drive these, a tractor, or one of these, an excavator, or as we say in England, I live in Oregon, but I'm from England, a digger. Then you probably know that an expert in this, an expert in the excavator, is worth about 100 beginners. Now, AI is like an experienced person that's super experienced in a tractor, in an excavator, and in every other farm equipment. How valuable would that person be on your farm? My guess is that person could help you a lot. But you're probably not a farm. So AI currently doesn't operate farm machinery. May have been a bad analogy. But if you can see how valuable an employee would be if they knew all the farm equipment, now imagine how valuable they would be to your business if they knew all the legal statutes of the state, country, or whatever you're in, all the customer support things that work, the psychology behind buying, marketing, all those things, and they knew it, and they were available to you right now. It's like having 100 experts. So let's go talk about that now and what the differences are between cloud and local AI, because there's a big difference, and you'll hear cloud and local or cloud and open all the time. So let's go in the office. I just wanted to show you my Tesla. At its core, modern AI, specifically the kind we're talking about, tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, are next word predictors. It doesn't think the way that a person does. It doesn't have opinions or understanding. What it does do is look at everything you've typed so far, and then it predicts the next word. It learned those patterns by being trained on an enormous amount of books, websites, contracts, emails, legal documents, financial reports, everything you can think of. During training, the system adjusts billions or even trillions of internal connectors, core parameters, until it gets really good at making those text predictions. Think of parameters like the size of the brain's connections. A model with more parameters can do more complex, difficult tasks and look for those subtle connections. That's why bigger models often feel smarter. Models being what we describe these collection of parameters and training. But here's the important part. Big is not always better. And the relationship between size, cost and performance isn't straightforward. A very large model with lots of connections might be excellent at complex tasks, but it can also be slower, more expensive to run, and sometimes overcomplicate simple tasks. On the other hand, a smaller, well-trained model can do a specific thing very, very well and beat with speed a larger model that's thinking outside of the box, because that smaller model has been trained on your specific need in that instance, like financial or legal. So when we talk about different AI models, we're really talking about different sizes of brains with different strengths, different speeds, and different costs to run. Some are lightweight and quick, some are heavy and powerful, and the best choice depends on what you actually need to do with it. And sometimes, most times, you'll need more than one AI to do the task that you want to do in an efficient manner. So with AI in vehicles, it's all the same. It's pattern recognition of a large database. And so that's the storage of information. And so it stores thousands and, well, millions of hours a day, actually, of drivers interacting with the environment, and then distills out of that the safest driver. And that's what it's doing. So it's looking at this road right now and turning the steering wheel based off of what it knows from the past. And that's the same as normal AI, except instead of trained on driving, it's trained on doing PowerPoints, doing presentations, doing all these wonderful things that an assistant for you would do. And just like other things, some things are better at one thing than another. So for instance, you might say, oh, Grok is the best at telling truth. That's a cloud AI model. And then you might say, Claude is the best at doing design. And so it has different uses for different things. But just like this car, they're all just learning from humans and from data all around the world. To break this down further, we need to talk about local or open models and cloud models. The things you've heard about before are cloud models. They're ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, all these big names. But they live on somebody else's computers and you send your data to them. That's obviously a big security risk. We're going to talk about that in a second. And the local models, they stay on your local hardware, meaning the hardware that you own. It doesn't have to be in the same building, but nobody else has access to it. And therefore it's a lot safer, but you have to have either bigger equipment or smaller models. And the best way to talk about this is to go to the parade. Let's go. So I'm at the 4th of July parade, and there's a couple of things that we can do to understand the difference between local AI and cloud AI. As you can see, there's a lot of people here. If I'm on one side of the street and the place I want to get my information to is on the other side of the street, I would have to shout, "Hey, my social security number is 3." And how comfortable would I be shouting my customers' names and addresses across the street? Because this is equivalent to cloud AI, because that's what I'm doing. I'm sending the data elsewhere. But if it was something even more important, like my social security number, how comfortable would I be shouting it across to there with all these people that could hear me? And that's a good rule of thumb. If you'd be nervous shouting it across the street, then the idea is don't use cloud. But of course, local AI is a bit more complicated. So much easier just to throw things in to ChatGPT or to whatever. So the easiness of doing it is lulls into a false sense of security, and we start giving our information away to everybody because we think that ChatGPT, Grok, OpenAI, etc. is very safe and secure, but it's not. Information leaks out all the time and can be distilled away from it. A great way to think about open models is it's a lot like the American flag. American flag symbolizes freedom, but with that freedom comes responsibility. I'm walking around now and there's a lot of people here in my county where I live in Oregon. 30% of people have a concealed carry license, meaning that they can carry a pew pew. And as initially a British person, I've only been here 8-9 years, that was kind of a scary thing. You know, we don't have that in where I'm from. So with open models, it's just a lot like that. You have freedom, but with freedom comes responsibility. And there's a lot of things you can do with an open model, meaning a model that's on your local computer, that you can't do. There's guidelines, restrictions on the cloud ones. If you ask certain questions on the cloud ones, you'll get reported to the police, even if it's just a simple one. Lots of authors currently are being reported to the police due to the fact that they've asked a question about a plot point, and then the OpenAI or Grok or whoever has been forced to tell the police that there's a threat, and that threat is not a real threat, of course, but that's the difference. Whereas with open local models, you can ask it whatever you want and there's no one there to report you, but also there's no guardrails, so it has to be set up correctly. But it's not too terrifying, it's not too scary, you can all do it, but it does require extra. So if you just think of local AI as being open but more free, but as a result of being free, it requires more responsibility.
But just because you can beat him up doesn't give you the right to. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
It looks fantastic, doesn't it? For you people that are from England, can you see why I live here now? But we're actually here because of one thing. We're here because the best option for most businesses that are on the small side, one of the best options, is available right here in the high street for local models which are secure. And that is where I am right now. So I'm in the Apple store, and you'd think that this one here would be the best one for AI because it's their biggest one. But you'd actually be wrong, and it's because of this number here. It's got 96 gigabytes of unified memory. Now, unified memory, and in other cases video memory, is what's needed to run AI, and the bigger that is, the better it could be. So maybe it'd be the next box down, or even the small box here. But you'd be wrong on all those things, because actually the best one for AI is this one right here, this laptop. And in fact, it's better than a lot of servers or bigger computers because of that magical number, that unified memory and this one has 128 gigabytes, meaning you can run a better model with bigger brain, more parameters, that allows you to do more subtle and more intelligent work, or you can have a smaller model and other people can run it at the same time. So you can have a number of users. So the interesting thing there is the biggest, most capable computers aren't doing that anymore. You have to go to a laptop, and the laptop is the best option for most people doing local AI here in this period of time. But there are other options. Let's go to my house. So I'm in the basement. You may hear some banging because I have a lot of children and I'm underneath them. But this is my gaming computer. But you may notice there's a few more. So why do I have so many gaming computers? Is it because I have a gaming addiction? Maybe. Is it because I have 8 children? Most probably. Is it because they also have about 24 gigs of that magic number we talked about called VRAM, or in the case of Macs, unified memory? Can it be both? So on these actual computers, these ones that my kids use for gaming, at night time I switch them on to do various tasks for me. And actually mine stays on all the time. It runs my thing called a Hermes agent, and it does a lot of very important tasks. But the model sizes that I can fit on here are just for very specific things. So I'm on Hugging Face here. Don't worry about the name, it's a weird name. And that has all those models that we talked about that fit onto this computer in that 24 gigs of VRAM, but they do very specific things. So I think most people can start right here, because I use this for real work. I can't tell you what, but I use it for real work right now. And all of these actually. And that real work could help you out a lot. And you can play around with this in your own basement right now. You'll probably have things, because you have less children, in a nicer place than I do. But you can really do a lot with your son's gaming PC. So where does that leave us? That leaves us knowing that we can't send private data or customer data out to the big models, and that the local models are really handy. And if you've got a gaming computer, you can probably start right there. If not, we're looking at probably the Macs. There are other things you can do. If you're a lawyer, then it's nearly always a DGX Spark. Don't worry about that if you're not a lawyer. But for most businesses, Mac and PC can do a lot of that stuff that we can't send out to the world. And so I think we're in a really strong position. But I'm going to show you how to set this up in the near future. So if you want to catch that, then just subscribe to the channel. But I think next, we're coding on the beach. I'll see you that time. But of course, there's always a message at the end. So this is what I like to do all the time. I love playing with local AI, I love playing with cloud AI, but I also set it up for businesses and set up systems. And if your manufacturing can't talk to your distribution and you're a small to medium business, then I'm probably your guy. Especially if you're a family-made business that's scared of these web-based things. So you can just have a look at the link in the description and go to codexcaptain.com and click the links from there, and I can actually come and help you out. But that's my only plug. I love doing this, and I'll talk to you soon.